Hey, how's it going? This is Greg from Wakizashi's Teahouse home in Japan. How are you doing? Are you good? Are you Genki?
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
So, it's been a while. This is Gray's Moving Picture House. First time back since, I don't remember. The last movie that I reviewed was, good grief, it was Live and Let Die quite a few weeks ago. I remember Salty was on that. Yeah, that was cool. But tonight, I just thought, it's looking like me. Just gonna be me. It's a solo show. So, great to see you in the chat. We have. Amazing. Earlier on, Gadfly Fiction was here. Couldn't hang around, but he was telling me that he did a bit of amateur boxing himself, and we are talking a boxing movie tonight. A boxing movie which maybe is not as well known as it should be. But yeah, we've also got Nosferatu. What are you talking about? I wish I could box, mate. I wish I could. And Napoleon was here a minute ago, and I had a great live stream with Napoleon. Chilled out. A nice chill out stream. Well, he thought it was a chill out stream, but I actually made him work really hard because, I was quite quiet. I let him do a lot of the talking. I don't think he was ready for that, but hey, it's me, isn't it? What do you expect? Where are we? Dwayne. Dwayne moves in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Read any good comics recently? And Jaina Catania. Nice to see you. What is up with you boners out there? Who else is here? We do have, I think there's a rare salty travelling sea sighting. Here he is. Is he live or is this recorded? This is live, mate. This is live, and I'm making it up as I go along as usual. So yeah, it's currently 1:06 p.m. Saturday afternoon in Japan. Had a busy morning with Napoleon on his stream, and then some nice curry, or I should say curry and rice for lunch. And here we go, time to stream. This is going to be a bit of a Wakizashi waffle, I think. But yeah, there will be a review, spoiler-free review of Southpaw, and maybe talk about other things as well. But yeah, great to see you here. Great to see you. Happy Friday night to you. And I really appreciate you tuning in. It's fantastic. What are you doing listening to me when you should be out partying all the time? Salty Travelling Sea gifted one Wakizashi Tea House membership. Thank you very much, Salty, for that. You are so generous. Stop it with that. He was also doing the same thing on Napoleon's stream. Really appreciate it. Oh, we also have Jacob Ironside in the chat. Looking good, mate. I hope you're good. Nosferatu is asking me to break out the sake. It's too early, man. It's too early for that. I can't be doing it. I might get the box wine out later, though. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. 1 p.m. is far too late on a Saturday not to have a drink. Really? Hail, Jacob, good to see you. And Dwayne is saying, watching Samurai Jack Season 2. Cool. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this movie. That's why you're here, isn't it? Wait, no, you're not. You're here to see me. Are you crazy? So yeah, this was, for me, it was a pleasant surprise. Southpaw, 2015 movie directed by Antoine Fuqua. I love saying that name, by the way. Probably butchering it, mispronouncing it, but Antoine Fuqua, who is probably most well known for the wonderful Training Day. Who saw that twist coming when you first saw that movie? He also did the classic Equalizer, I think classic. The first one is brilliant. The reimagining, with Denzel Washington in the lead role. He did a remake of The Magnificent Seven, which I don't remember watching. I don't know if it's good or not. And he also did Equalizer 2, which was still decent, but not as good as the first one, in my humble opinion. Hey, I didn't even realise this. Did you know he directed King Arthur? The one with Clive Owen. No way, that takes back in Keira Knightley. Yeah, I didn't know that. So, where are we? Let me share something first of all. What can we try and share? Let's see if this works. Let me know if I start roboting. This film stars Jake Gyllenhaal, also the wonderful Rachel McAdams, who is very hot, very sexy in this film. As I say, I'm going to keep this spoiler free, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about what it's about. But Jake Gyllenhaal, man, he got in shape for this movie. He really does. He looks great. He looks ripped. He looks like a boxer. Nosferatu is saying that, no, I am not the male Keira Knightley. Maybe I am. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, sorry, that was a bit mean. Where are we? So yeah, it's also got Forrest Whitaker. Good old Forrest Whitaker, who I know, to be fair, he always seems to play the same role, doesn't he, these days? But he's good in it. He's good. He comes into it a little bit later. He's the trainer for, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, who is called Billy Hope, because everyone's got to have a bit of hope, right? And what else is about this? It was originally supposed to be a role for Eminem. And I think one of his tracks is in this movie during one of the training sequences. But here's a quick read from Wikipedia saying that Eminem was originally supposed to play the role of Billy Hope. And the screenwriter, Kurt Sutter, said the project was inspired by the rapper's personal struggles. Wow. He stated that he had meetings with Eminem's producing partners over 7 years, looking to do something together. And apparently Eminem's very selective, doesn't just do anything. But he was, or probably still is, interested in the boxing genre. So he was going to be in it. He's going to play the part. But it didn't work out. Apparently, after a couple of years, Eminem dropped out of the film to focus on his music. Then we got Antoine Fuqua, who signed on to direct, with good old Jake Gyllenhaal, replacing Eminem in the lead role. Then, of course, also Forrest Whitaker and Rachel McAdams were cast. So yeah, it says here that Gyllenhaal actually did research for his role. Can you believe it? Fancy that. He read loads of books on boxers, orphan boxers, the spirit of gyms all over America, children who start early, and also the history of foster care, because this does play a part in the movie, foster care. It's very interesting. One of the reasons why I like this movie so much is it has a very compelling father-daughter relationship in it. So really good. And I've got to shout out, let me check the cast. Who plays his daughter? She's a young girl in this movie. She's a young actress. Where are we? Una Lawrence as Layla Hope. She's great. She's really good. I'm not sure how old she was when she made this movie, but she does a really good job, because with children actors, it's often hit or miss, isn't it? You know what I mean? Where are we? Let's have another photo. Whoa, look at that. What a great punch there. Great punch. And I tell you what, the boxing scenes, they do look really good in here. They're very, very realistic. Okay, let's get back to you guys in the chat. We have Copa, he's here. Copa saying, Gray, he knew that I was too perfect, too good to be true, right? It's a complete fake. I'm a fake. There's no such thing as Wakizashi's Teahouse and Gray. I'm wearing a mask. I've been wearing a mask for years. What am I talking about? So, is it buffering? Oh no, do let me know. I've been having trouble with the internet. You know what? I'm actually plugged in. For the first time ever, I'm plugged into the ether, to the Ethernet. So that's supposed to be better. And the first thing I noticed when I did the internet speed check, it doubled the speed straight away. I mean, I was around 100, and now it went up to it's 190. 190. So that is fast, so it should be fine. Let me see. I'm not looking at the picture, so I don't know. Okay, no buffer for Salty. Thanks, mate. That's good. I hate it when it starts buffering, don't you? And I'm being careful. I've only got a couple of tabs open. What's happening to my computer? It's supposed to be powerful. Anyway, it could be the weird weather we've been having. I love Grey. Oh my God. It's been a long time since I've heard that. So yeah. Going back to the movie, I recommend it. It's not a fantastic movie. It's not amazing. It's not anything really new. It's nothing we've seen before. Nothing we haven't seen before. It's that kind of typical boxer, hard luck story who sort of builds himself back up after some really challenging events that happen, trying to stay spoiler free. But I got a big shock early on in this film. Something happens and I did not see it coming. I was like, whoa. So yeah, again, no spoilers. Great performance from Jake. Whatever, I don't know what he's like, in real life, but he does play the part well. And what really one of the things that caught my eye or my ears about this was he and his wife, the character, it says they're both orphans. I don't know about orphans, but they both grew up in Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen. Shout out to Daredevil. We were talking about that with Nerdporiel on his stream briefly. I actually convinced Napoleon to pick up the Frank Miller run, the classic, the beginning of the Frank Miller run. So, but anyway, I digress. So yeah, it was nice to hear Hell's Kitchen popping up in this movie randomly. What's next? Yeah, so say some great boxing moments. The fights are realistic. They look like the punches are landing. It's not too over the top, not too bloody, but it can be a bit gruesome at times. After watching this, I tell you what I did. The first thing I did was I went back and I watched the original Rocky. Rocky. No, not that Rocky. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. What Rocky are we talking about?
Hello.
No, not that Rocky. Yeah, Rocky with Sylvester Stallone. Such a good movie. I could watch that maybe once a year and just still enjoy it. And then I watched Creed Part 3. So I went on a bit of a boxing movie run. Creed Part 3, what did you think if you've seen it? Let me know in the chat. I did enjoy the first one, but yeah, it was okay. It was fine, Creed Part 3. Again, it is what it is. It's kind of formulaic boxing movie, but God knows what anybody sees in Tessa Thompson. Like, she only has one acting, or one facial feature or one performance, and it's like this. Yes, I think so. Unbelievable. Anyway, enough bitchiness from me. Nosferatu was saying he once offered to shake Gray's hand and he dropped me with a liver shot and then stepped over my collapsed body. Did he give you like jelly knees? And yes, Dwayne, early Miller DD, Daredevil. Fantastic. What a great run. Born Again. The Man with No Fear. So, where were we? So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, but to keep things short and simple, this is a recommend. It'll fill a couple of hours on a Saturday night. Enjoy it. Pour yourself a beer. Enjoy some boxing. It's good performance. It's emotional. It hits you in the feelings, in the phoebes, as we say, which I do like about Japanese films and movies as well, and TV drama. Tell you what, Japanese are crazy for that. They really do manipulate the old emotions. Or maybe it's just me getting old. There we go. Yes, indeed. I love that scene of, is it Charles Gray? Gray? Did someone say Gray? Blofeld dancing on the desk, do the time warp again. Okay, where are we? Let's go back to the photos. As I say, I've only prepared a couple. So, I think I've got my knowledge, which is very limited, right. I think this is 50 Cent playing this role. He starts out and he's Billy Hope, Jake Gyllenhaal's character's manager. We've got that right. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. He was pretty good too, yeah. He's not in it that much, but he does a good job. I always like Forrest Whitaker. I can't help it. There's something about him. There's something really likable about him. Although Napoleon was having a go about his Rogue One performance, which was a bit crazy, a little bit over the top. Who else is in this? I think that's it for the big names. As I say, for me, this came out of nowhere. I hadn't even heard of it. And I don't think it was a very big picture. It wasn't a big success. It says here it grossed 52 million in North America, 38 million around the world. So it's about 92 million worldwide against a budget of 30. So usually like times things by 3 or 2.5 or 3. So it probably made, it made back its money at least. But yeah, what do you reckon? Not a massive movie. It didn't break 100 million. And with Jake Gyllenhaal, he used to be quite a big name, didn't he? For a while. Where are we? Here's a couple of the short quotes from reviews. Most people giving it either 2 out of 4, 3 out of 5. Not saying it was that great. Southpaw is a boxing movie with a theme of redemption. Redeemed by the performances of its 2 main actors, Jake Gyllenhaal and Forrest Whitaker. And that was from the Seattle Times. Let's give a rather dull, what's the word? Let's give a poorer review, a low review. Where are we? Basically, I think the criticisms were, people were saying it's like there's this genre. It's doing all this. It's pulling all the same tropes. It's been done to death. You've seen it all before, but I think it was performances that really pulled this up. Above the being pretty average. Southpaw maybe rote, predictable, and mawkish. Nice word. But none of those faults lie in its main star, Gyllenhaal, and that was the Washington Post, which gave it 1.5 stars out of 4. A little bit harsh there. Where are we? Toronto Star gave it 2.5 stars out of 4, saying it isn't great cinema, but it's a satisfying movie making, nothing more on its mind than telling a heart-tugging story. So there you go. That's it. That's about it. Any more photos? Here we go. Here's the young lady who plays Jake's daughter. Where are we? Let's just go double check her name. Una Lawrence. Sounds like Uma Thurman. Una Lawrence is Layla Hope, his daughter. She's great, really good. And that's about it. Where are we? You can tell it's a one-man show, can't you? And there's Forrest. Forrest with his weird milky eye. What's going on there? Yeah, he's good. I like him in a part, and some of the scenes he's in, like he's in a bar, always makes me want to have a drink. I'm so easy with movies like this. When I see somebody having a scotch or a beer, I'm like, I'm so impressionable. Such an easy sell. Thanks, Salty. I love you, Gray. Truly, you picked the most mid movie to review this week. You need to answer. I've got to give them a round to the... Really? Oh my God, I've got to buy a round to the house for this. It's good. So, did you watch it? If you watch it, do you want to come on and talk about it? I say I've not dropped any links tonight. I just thought, people weren't really sounding interested in it, so I thought it might be just me having a bit of a waffle. Copa, have you seen it? You're the movie expert, aren't you? Self-proclaimed movie expert. Just kidding. Yeah, let me know. And I want to know if Nos has seen it. But out of boxing movies, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not amazing. It's just all right. Let's get one more photo. Have to end with the obligatory bar scene. And he does have a glass of water there. But on the side, you can see a nice, rather large glass of scotch or bourbon, looking good. Temptation. Hey there, Miss Martin Muse. It's nice to see you. Thank you very much for dropping in. That's cool. Good to see you. I hope you're good. I hope you're Genki. Salty saying, no, he didn't watch this. He had better things to do. Like, let his dishwasher finish the dry cycle. Ooh, Salty. That was a low blow. That was below the belt, that, wasn't it? It says, by the way, it says Salty Traveller C, who is spending his time watching Wheel of Time. Come on, man. What are you doing? I dropped that after the first 3 episodes. Copa. Okay, you are the expert and you have seen it. I'd love to know what you think. As I say, you're not saying it's amazing. I thought it was good. Good boxing scenes, good action, great performances. It pulled the old heartstrings at times. Maybe Jake was a little bit over the top, a bit annoying because it's like, he's making mistakes. He's making the same mistakes. You're like, what are you doing? But that's what makes a redemption art work, isn't it? You have to see the person reduced to the lowest state and then pull themselves back up again. Gray with the sick burns. It burns. Mr. Burns. Okay, where are we? Let's have a look. But speaking of the, oh, that's right. That's another reason why, of course. Another reason why I watched it. It was the director's name, Antoine Fuqua, from Equalizer, Training Day. Because he directed it, I was like, come on, this can't be bad. This can't be terrible. It must be decent. And I think it is. I don't know if he has directed the new Equalizer, which, by the way, is not yet out in Japan. We'll probably have to wait, 3 seasons for it. It might come out next spring or next summer, but we'll see how it goes. That's usually how things work over here. It doesn't have Equalizer 3 listed on his CV, so anyway, maybe not. And speaking of that, has anybody seen Equalizer Part 3? I've heard it's good. I've heard it's decent. There we go. Let me get back to me. You don't want to see this. You want to be a big photo, a big close up of Grey, don't you? Here we go. No, really? Okay. How about a bit of Willem? Wow, that went on longer than I thought. That was quite long, wasn't it? As the ladies say when they see me. Where are we? The great show in the 80s with one of my favouritely named actors. I think unfortunately he's passed away now. God rest his soul. Raise a drink to Edward Woodward. Come on. Now try and say that quickly 3 times after you've had a few bourbons. Edward Woodward, if you could. The Great Equalizer, asks Jaina with a question mark. That show was at the 80s. I think it was, wasn't it? Was it late 80s, Salty? If I remember rightly. I used to watch that every week. It was a staple family viewing on the TV with mum and dad. Yeah, playing Robert McCallum. Edward Woodward. So good. And that one, that William Dafoe clip went out to me good buddy and me drinking partner, old Monkey Pump himself, Nosferatu, the vampire, to ye, me beauty. I'm glad you're feeling better, mate. I'm glad you've not got the variant, which is gonna. Okay, no, I'm not going to talk about that now. Let's just say if things start to go a bit bonkers in October, don't say you weren't warned. It's all planned. It's all planned, folks. Monkey Pump, that's the word, Copa. It's fantastic, isn't it? That is a good question, Nos. How has Willem Dafoe never won an Oscar? I thought he was going to get one for Platoon. Did not win for that. No, he didn't, did he? Unbelievable. One of my favourite performances by Willem Dafoe is Wild at Heart, which we have covered on the old Wakizashi Teahouse moving picture house. Yeah, that's a great movie. What a performance in that. He's not in it for that long, is he? But so good. Good grief. Based grey. Green Goblin shot that to hell, Dwayne, yeah. But he's awesome in Spider-Man. I just didn't like the costume. The Green Goblin costume was stupid, but when he's playing Norman Osborn, how good is he? That dinner scene. Oh my God. That dinner scene is so good. So funny. When he comes back in is it Far From Home? I've forgotten now. No Way Home, Far From Home. So good. Okay, where are we? The variant. Beware the variant. Salty. You know it's all planned. Yeah, when they need to take attention off something else. Where are we? Great, I need a Leaving Las Vegas review next week. It's our story. Only if I get to play... Oh my God, what's she called? How am I not remembering her name? Wasn't she in Karate Kid? Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue! No comment there, no comment for anybody. Yeah. So, anyway, what's going on? So that was Southpaw. That's it. I'd give it maybe a fair 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Too generous? Come on, it's me, Mr. Positivity. But watch it for the performances. Watch it for the good father-daughter relationship, the good story about that. Watch it for the fight scenes, which when they come are good. They're well choreographed. It looks real. Looks like the punches are landing. Watch it if you like seeing Jake Gyllenhaal ripped as Fook. Man, so jealous. I need to start, doing my Shiko again properly, nice and press-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, everything. Get those planks going again. Been a bit lazy because, just laughing at comments. Been a bit lazy with the summer. It just got too hot. I know, right? Easy excuse. Too hot to do anything. A 4? You haven't even watched it, Salty. Come on, man. 5.5 from Copa, the self-proclaimed movie expert, who says, forgot most of it except for Rachel McAdams' cake. He's still there, Jada. Be careful. Watch what he's doing there. I've seen... That's right. I've seen Jake ripped apart in Brokeback Mountain, and the less said about that, the better. Now it's a 3. It's going down. Oh, Jesus. Well, if Southpaw's a 3, what's Wheel of Time? Minus 33, baby. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about something different. See that you've all crapped on me a movie review. No, I'm only joking. As I say, this is a bit of a stream of consciousness stream. Just want to say hello to people, catch up, let you know I'm still out here. I'm still doing stuff. Minus 34, Salty. Oh, you want the link, do you? Okay, baby. Nice one. Well, as soon as you ask so nicely, as soon as you pooed on my review, let me do that. How do I do this now? Invite, copy the link there. I tell you what, I've started rewatching, and I've never finished it. Okay, and I do recommend this. This is a big shout out from Gray. Even if you're not a comic book fan, even if you haven't read the source material, the Doom Patrol, DC Comics. I know, DC, but it's a TV show by them. It's not a movie. Doom Patrol, especially season 1. I started rewatching that last night. It popped up on random on Amazon for like really cheap to buy the first season. I got the first season for like 1,000 yen, which is nothing. You know, it's like $6 or something. Put it on last night. I was like, okay, just watch a little bit. I'll just watch the first episode. Man, I couldn't stop. That first episode is brilliant. Really, really pulls you in. Brendan Fraser is awesome as Cliff Steele, Robot Man, and it's quite based as well. It's funny, it's sexy, it's rude, it's crazy. Doom Patrol, if you don't know, it's like the weirdos, the weird superheroes who what's the word? I'm trying to think what the word is. Not quite Suicide Squad. They're not like bad guys. They just got strange powers. But that comic book, when I was older teenager, reading the Grant Morrison Doom Patrol run, tell you what, I didn't know how good it was at the time. I didn't realise what I was reading. I've heard it called, was it by Gerard Way, who wrote, he wrote, from, was it My Chemical Romance? He wrote a little mini Doom Patrol series later on. But anyway, he called it like the best comic book ever. Like he's called it like therapy in a comic book form. Anyway, Jane, I was waiting for a link last time and Gray never sent it. I thought you were busy with baby. Oh my goodness. Where are we? No excuse now. If I send it, that means you have to come on. You realise that? And Salty, I see you in the back room. I will be 1 second. Do I say Jana or Jana? Jana, darling, where are you? Where are you? I'm trying to find our personal messages. The ones that we keep secret from Coper. Whatever you do, don't tell him. I can't find them. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Okay, anyway. I will send it in a sec. Just let me bring Salty in because he's chomping at the bit there. Get me headphones
Not really. Not really. Dude, it's just good to see you, Gray. It's
great to see you too. Now, we please take your face off camera, for God's sake.
Oh, you fucking cunt. I mean, sorry.
See you next Tuesday, Salty.
I mean, see you next Tuesday. Yeah. No, sorry, dude. I'm covered in seaweed and kelp and mud and other stuff because
what have you been doing? Have you been looking for hunting Cthulhu?
I've been looking for BIPOC mermaids to copulate with because Disney's
Stop it.
Actually, that would be kind of fun. No, I was actually looking. I look for agates and fossils. The tide was low at a certain point today, and I went out after work and I found a bunch of cool fossils. And
oh, really?
So yeah, it's some inside baseball, but that's what I was doing because there's nothing to watch on television. There's no movies I want to see, and a lot of people aren't putting a lot of content down on YouTube, and the ones that are. I don't really want to watch, so I'm gonna go outside and do stuff, So
it's good to get outside. Yeah. It's good to touch grass, Salty, isn't it? Get back out to nature. Take your shoes off. Have a beer as well. I'm jealous. It's too early for me.
Yeah, but I like, and please take this in the spirit with which it's meant, which is what the hell is wrong with you? Why did you want to review this movie? like everybody in chat wants to know, like, what was it about this movie that you would tell if you were riding in an elevator and somebody said, "Hey, have you seen any good movies?" And you say, "I just saw Southpaw." What is it that made you want to watch this movie? And I'm not going to make fun. It's a legitimate question.
Pops up randomly on recommendations because I think I'd watched Creed 3, so it's like, okay, if you like this, you might enjoy. And I'd never heard of it. Never heard of Southpaw. Yeah. I gave you my pitch, so I said like good performances, emotional, good boxing scenes. Jake Gyllenhaal's good. I like Forrest Whitaker. I'm a sucker for a bit of the old heartstring pulling and a daddy-daughter relationship.
Okay,
which doesn't suck.
Okay, so the dad is good. Okay, so that brings it back to a 4. that just by
the dad
virtue
makes
of that.
mistakes. He's in a bit of a stupid hole. He digs a hole for himself, but he manages to climb back out of it. And yeah, I won't spoil it, but yeah. No, he's not a scumbag. He loves his daughter, and he tells her that, and she says it back to him. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? The father hasn't left the family. He doesn't walked out. He doesn't beat up the wife, even though he's a boxer. What's happening?
Sounds like white supremacy. I don't know. Right.
I'm feeling very white as well. Look at me, Salty. Look at this. I'm so white. It's scary.
I know, dude. Jesus. So I could use you as a white balance my camera. So I mean, what's coming out in the comic books right now? I got Fire and Ice, and I think it's wonderful. Was the Conan like a 2 or 3 shot comic run, or was it
It's ongoing. It's an ongoing series.
Okay.
And it's only had 2 issues out. Fantastic. Okay. And shout out to the Netter, who says Southpaw was a great movie. Yeah, someone's in my corner, Salty, punching back, giving you a little bit of a jab to the face there.
Well, you need all the help you can get. So I'm not going to make fun of you. And I mean, there's shit that I watch and people go like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, I've been on a binge and I was actually talking to that 70s rock fan about it because he did a show on SCTV. Remember the Canadians like comedy sketch show from, I think it was the 70s into the 80s. And he sent me down a rabbit hole. So I've been watching all of this cheesy, kind of like, it was John Candy before he had a movie career and all those people. And that's where I go for my entertainment. I'm watching stuff that probably was out when I was 10 years old, and I know over 50 and you get it, right? It's just like, and I struggle with this because I talk about it with people, whether it's Purple Valkyrie or Prophet or anybody else. I think we're going back to these things that have humanity in it. I mean, I have to watch that shit show, The Wheel of Time.
What are you doing, Salty? How are you still sane? Come on.
It's honestly, all credit goes to Prophet of the Dragon, Amanda Minethrin, the White Cloaks, Nerdporeal Life Form, and of course Disparu and people like that. It's just this show. None of us expected to have to endure what we did this season, and now we're too damn stubborn to walk away. So we're gonna finish this damn thing.
We got a funny comment here from Cooper. If Gray wants to watch a boxing movie, he should watch the Tina Turner movie. What's love got to do with it?
Oh yeah,
goes 12.
Ike's pimp hand is strong. It's very strong. He's the backhand champion. Das, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Mamma mia, yeah. And he denied all that apparently in real life after that movie came out. He's like, oh no, no, I never did any of that.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good movie, wasn't it? Angela Bassett. She kind of became famous from that.
I know I didn't watch that shit, but I mean, I read about what actually happened. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, I'm making fun of you.
Do with it?
I don't watch movies like that, dude. The world is a terrible enough place without me watching a dramatization of Tina Turner getting the shit slapped out of her by somebody who should have never been more than a pimp. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. Ike Turner, and chat back me up on this. If you put Ike Turner and Sonny Bono in a room together, who would come out alive? Like if you threw a knife in the middle of the room, who would be the biggest badass? Because I think both of them are terrible human beings for what they are. And both of them exploited women. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have any sympathy or empathy for Cher. I mean, if you look what that woman has been up to, but it's just weird, right? It's just, it's weird. It's weird to me, Uh-oh. Here we go.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble now.
Hey.
How are we today? How are we tonight?
We're all right. We're talking about movies that glorify. Ooh, we got wicked bad echo, Jacob.
Uh-oh.
I like your background,
hang
Jacob.
on just a second. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. No worries. The most inspiring boxing movie is $1 Million Baby, says Nosferatu. It's wholesome. Oh my god, it's so sad. The movie.
I heard about that. The dog dies in the end. I heard that. Yeah.
Everybody dies apart from Clint Eastwood because he's Clint.
How's that?
Well,
better?
A little bit echoey, but it's better. I can still hear myself, but that's okay.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I thought it was too late night for you, Jacob. So.
Oh, it is. It is, but I can come on for a little bit.
Yeah, cool.
Jake has been tearing it up with that Master. Holy cow, the echo. With the Master and Commander thing. I was watching that, and that's another movie I've never seen. I've never seen Master and Commander, and you guys got me all fired up, Jacob, to watch this movie. Gray, have you seen that movie, Master and Commander, with Russell Crowe?
It is the best Star Trek movie made ever. It's fantastic. Seriously, if you just imagine that the ships, the sailing ships are ships in space, it's wonderful, Salty. It's so good.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm going to watch it.
I'm being serious. It's fantastic and great performances. The way they do the battles at sea, it's kind of like, it reminds you of Khan, the Wrath of Khan, where they're hiding in the clouds in space, what do you call it? It's all like that. It's so good. I'm getting a bit of an echo. I'm sorry, Jacob. Unless you got headphones.
Yeah. Copa Ex Machina says a tree is 1-0 versus Sonny Bono. I would agree with that. Nosferatu says Bono from U2 would get fucked up.
Bono, no comment from me.
Sonny Bono was on the Love Boat. Dude, we should totally
The Love Boat.
That's another thing. If you guys are looking for something fun to watch, and maybe it's because Gray and I are old men and Jacob's, a spry young dude too. But those old 70s skit shows, and of course the most legendary is Carol Burnett, but Johnny Cash had a variety show where they would have skits and everything, and Johnny Cash would be on it. He'd have live musical guests. Sonny and Cher, there are multiple iterations of Sonny and Cher doing kind of these comedy skit shows, and they're out there. You can find a lot of them on YouTube. But if you're tired of watching Ahsoka or whatever that, Wheel of Time, it's just, I'm sorry. Can anybody take this shit seriously?
Come on, Salty. It's you. You're part of the problem,
I'm the problem.
Salty.
I'm a toxic white male. But check out some of these 70s variety shows. And Gray, I'm watching the two Ronnies pretty regularly. I'm watching British skit comedy from the early 70s. And it is super entertaining.
You went through a phase of was it Morecambe and Wise? Eric Morecambe, what a comedy genius he was.
I have the entire box set of Morecambe and Wise, dude, and I have no regrets in getting that at all. I really want to get the two Ronnies, but it's in the wrong format of DVD player. But I've got an international DVD player. It just costs $1 million to get it from either Australia or the UK. And yes, that was a truck going by because the windows.
Is it a truck? Jacob, are you okay, man?
Am I coming through better now?
A little. We're still getting some echo, but
I'm sorry.
That's all right, man. We'll have to send you some Bluetooth earbuds for Christmas. But,
Echo. Speaking of echo, whatever happened to that? I'll have to mute you, Jacob, and just unmute yourself when you want to talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What has happened to the Echo show, Salty? I
don't know. They
dumped.
need to find it. They probably replaced the Hispanic female lead with a trans amputee communist. Gray, you tell me what's going on, because
I have no idea.
Make these jokes. I can make these jokes, and it's like, oh, Salty, so rude, and yet I'm not. Because look at what's on television. Okay, tell me how I am being istrophobe, because it's all there. It's all there.
I like the way you went all British accent when you said, "Oh, it's so rude."
It's so rude. Go for you.
Salty, going back to like two Ronnies and Morecambe and Wise. Why? What is it that you like about them? Why? What's so good? Do you not consider them too dated now? Because I think they're geniuses, but
honestly, I mean, as a kid who grew up, because here in the States, Monty Python was obviously not on broadcast television. And I've talked about this before on your show. It was one of those rare things where you'd flip to public television at some random time, usually late on a Friday or Saturday night, and there would be crazy dudes in dresses or running around in knight's armor with the craziest animation in the world, and it was Monty Python. And I think that sort of absurdist British humor, if it hits you at the right age, it just sticks with you. And so, I've always loved Monty Python, but I think when it comes to Morecambe and Wise, the writing is genius and the delivery is perfect. It's perfect. And I think, Gray, honestly, I think the other thing too is I, as a objective entertainment viewer, am desperate for human interaction with the characters I see on the screen. I want to see a human being acting like a human being, and in the case of Morecambe and Wise, two very talented, funny people with the most amazing timing. And that, because my brain was not genetically modified by whatever they put into entertainment now, it is desperate for that. I don't know.
We're getting comments about MASH salty in the stream. I'm not sure why. MASH or Death, says Nosferatu. Copa's talking about it. I actually reviewed the book. The book is, the movie, the Robert Altman movie was based on. It's really good. And it's based on a true story.
Yeah, I read the book. I mean, the movie is one of those things where I think as time has gone on, it's become less watchable. It was a product of its time. Elliot Gould, what's his name? Sutherland was in it too.
Yeah, Donald Sutherland was in it. Elliot Gould.
They're great archetypes, but it's become harder to kind of appreciate and enjoy. The book is still fantastic. Of course, the show, now looking back through the everybody in Hollywood is a goddamn communist trying to destroy America. It's kind of hard to watch MASH now, but I loved MASH as a kid, and a huge influence on me obviously was Alan Alda. Alan Alda, his timing and delivery, perfect. Absolutely comedic genius.
So that was proper, like, what you call family viewing for me. I used to watch it with my mum and dad when I was a kid because it was on, like you say, once a week. MASH was. I've not rewatched it in years, so I wonder what it would be like to go back and watch some of the episodes now.
Well, Margaret Houlihan, Loretta Swit. I was like, oh, why is and now I'm like, oh yeah. She's a saucy little minx, and she needs to be taught the meaning of the word respect. You know what I mean? Like she's just naughty. So I mean, it's just I don't know. You get old and older, I should say, and these things change. But Gilligan's Island. I mean, that's a show I can't watch now, except for boobs. It's on.
You know what? Napoleon before was talking about the Golden Girls. Yeah, you remember that? And he was saying, like, he actually rewatched some episodes. He'd forgotten how saucy and how naughty that was. Mainly with the talk. It's kind of rude. The jokes. It's like it was the 80s.
We used to be able to have fun. Yeah, we used to be able to tell jokes. And I forget who it was. I don't know if it was in a live stream or after a live stream. Dude, I've done so many of these goddamn Wheel of Time live streams. I forget who said it, but it's like watching the movie Teen Wolf. They use the R word. And I'm like, well, which R word? Because there's apparently a lot of R words we can't use anymore. Because we used to use the R word for someone who's all the time. Everybody said that. They said it on sitcoms. They said it in movies. They said it everywhere. You know why? Because if you have that condition, you don't know what the hell we're saying anyway. But thank God for white female liberals telling us all that we can't use words in the English language or be funny.
I use that word all the time.
Oh, I almost asked you to say it, but I'm not going to do that.
Jacob, just unmute yourself a second and we'll talk and see what happens. Oh, yeah, there's a bit of an echo. Do you have it on a speaker or?
Well,
it's on
I don't have my headphones or mic plugged in right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think if we let them talk and we mute themselves, we'll be okay.
Go
ahead, Jake.
It's on the speaker. Yeah, I grew up watching the Andy Griffith Show when I was a kid. So
that was in syndication, afternoon syndication when I was a kid. That and Gomer Pyle. Does anybody in chat know about Gomer Pyle, Gilligan's Island, Lost in Space? Those were all on. The Cisco Kid, all of that stuff. Gunsmoke, it was all there. We're getting some death threats about Three's Company from Copa Machina. It's a good show, product of its time. And there's no need to ask which one would you do, because there's only one to do in that show, let's be honest, So, yeah. I Love Lucy was fantastic. You're correct, Nas.
Wagon Train, watch that.
Yeah. I love how Gray's just on cruise control. He's like, I'm going to let these guys talk.
I'm going to mute myself and then Jacob, go for it.
Oh, I didn't have anything. But yeah, I watched a lot of the old Western series. Gunsmoke, Wagon Train. What else? Have Gun Will Travel. That was a fun one.
It's interesting. We're getting comments with And you may need to mute Jacob because my head's going to explode. And it was Copa Ex Machina says, if you don't say you liked Rhoda, I will report this stream. Rhoda was a very interesting show. It was extraordinarily.
Let me check.
So Rhoda was arguably a spinoff from All in the Family with Archie Bunker. And she was a character, I think, that appeared a couple times on
1974. Wow, it started.
And it was really caustic. I mean, she was a very kind of an embittered New York woman. They had a lot of real world things that hadn't been brought into television before then, like abortion. And I think it was breast cancer. And this is supposed to be a sitcom, and that was the 70s progressive, and it's again, one could start looking backwards and you can sort of look at the trajectory of how ideology has entered into things. And is it that much worse now? Yes, because they're trying to make things exist by using entertainment as part of their nudging, because they're nudging people. Eat bugs, give up your car. So many people on the planet. Don't look at the sky and all the shit they're spraying. Let's talk about the weather, like all this nonsense. They didn't really do that in the 70s. What they would do is they would kind of I think Archie Bunker's the best for this, where they would pose what would be Archie's over the top phobia or whatever it was, right? And then show you how absurd it was. And you as the audience get to make a decision if you're still going to hold those views or if you're going to take the leftist bullshit of the time and make it your own. Now there's only leftist bullshit, and then there are people who are even more leftist than the show who are there to educate the leftists who just aren't leftist enough. Like there is no other point of view in all this thing. What's funny is, though, all the crazy stuff Archie Bunker said in the 70s, holy shit, it came true. All of it came true. Have you guys noticed that? Like, holy shit, Archie Bunker was like a prophet. We need to build statues to Carol O'Connor and his character. But yeah, what's going on in chat?
I'm trying to get Jana to jump in, like she was asking for a link, and I think she was just teasing me because now she's saying, Salty, she's not wearing any pants. So I replied, well, you should definitely get in here, but maybe, just keep your camera off.
Yeah, what makes you think I am? I mean...
By the way, let me shout out Awesome One. Great to see you. They were saying before, like, wow, Gray's live. What's going on? Are your family letting you stream again? It's true. It's true.
Yeah, Nosferatu says, Salty, you want the Anarchist Cookbook instead of Wheel It? I had that book. I worked in a bookstore where we used to sell that. And I don't mean to be a little downer here, but that book sucked. Like, there are much better books to read than that thing. And trust me, I might be a little hardcore lunatic. And I remember reading that. It was in the early 90s, and it was like, there were better books that were field manuals from special forces from Vietnam, or if you really want to up your game, go read those. The Anarchist Cookbook's like, whatever. Like, I guess if you want to blow your hands off, you can do that, or you can do what you really want to do, And now I'm probably going to Gitmo because it's Joe's America.
Salty, I've missed you, bro. I've missed you. I've missed our little rants together.
Is your country getting flooded with people from the third world, or is Japan keeping their culture and their
currency? That's quite a hot topic as well, because population is declining. It's an aged population right now, and they're talking about maybe opening up, more immigration. But I don't know what's going to happen. But the country's getting flooded by water. It's been crazy over here, parts of there.
Well, and then you guys have released all that goddamn water from Fukushima that was absolutely absent from the news. And I don't blame you personally, Gray, but that troubles me
nowhere near.
Because I know you're on the other side. It just obviously
scary,
that is a huge downer to me, and I'm really fucking pissed off about that, and I don't talk about it because the world's fucked up enough. You know what I mean? So Zaxx, the Duncan Hines cookbook was based too. Dude, Betty Crocker would kick Duncan Hines' ass. Okay, like with one arm tied behind her back, and she doesn't have a penis. She's just straight up real woman. Okay. Just keep that in mind.
We're also deflecting typhoons your way as well, Salty. Any typhoons that come our way, Japan, they've built this machine that surprisingly can influence the weather, manipulate the weather, and they're pushing typhoons towards America. What's going on there?
You guys should push them north. I know somebody who really needs them.
Really needs a few.
And help us all out here on the planet Earth. But what do I know? But yeah. All
Gray,
right.
sell us on the benefits of an ethno state.
I'm sold already, dude. Sign me up. Let's go. You know.
Nice one, Jane. I know I'm only joking. I know you were kidding. She's busy. She's busy. Needs to get to bed. You're off next Saturday, so next week could be on. Okay, awesome.
Sweet. But what are you watching, Gray? What's a guilty pleasure, or what's something from your childhood? I mean, you got my dumb yank ass watching Morecambe and Wise, and seriously, I'm watching old British comedy, 2 old British comedy shows, and SCTV from Canada. And none of these shows are barely younger than I am. You know,
I've
I
never
was
seen
like 1 or 2,
SCTV.
3 years
Only
old.
heard of it.
It's fantastic.
Is it really?
We got to get that 70s rock fan on to talk about the show, and he has all these wonderful clips, but it's kind of absurdist, you know what I mean? And it was like if SNL from the 70s kind of had more of an edge and a little more of an absurdity to it. And if you like The Kids in the Hall, this would be like The Kids in the Hall's grandpa, for the lack of a better term. So yeah, if you're a 90s kid. Aunt Jemima, shit, dude, she's gone. Have you guys looked at the boxes of what used to be Aunt Jemima? And it's like, it's the most generic, boring shit. You literally walk past it. You're like, that must be the store brand, because that is the ugliest goddamn box.
We didn't have it in the UK, but we did have Uncle Ben's rice at one point. I was like, oh, Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Who's he? He looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys got like Uncle Muhammad stuff now from what I'm seeing in the news, right? I mean, there's a lot of that. It's the most popular name it's the most popular name in the British Isles. Okay, like I do pay attention to this stuff, and I talk to Purple about this stuff too. I mean, it is what it is. So, you know, it's going to be.
What's happened? I've only been away 20 years, Salty. Unbelievable.
Yeah, don't go back. It's a
what I've been watching, I rewatched The Wire season 5, the final season. Why it's so good. It's not that old, I know, but what else? Just bits and pieces. Nothing that exciting. Nothing's really caught my eye apart from Doom Patrol, which I will recommend again. Doom Patrol.
Really?
I think you'd like that because it's weird, like me.
Okay.
And you. It's different.
I can get behind that.
It's sexy. It's a bit rude. It's based.
All right, that sounds hot.
Especially the first season.
Yeah.
I've
oh boy. Go ahead, Jacob.
I've been watching One Piece, the anime. I'm almost done with that one. And
what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. It's good. I mean, it's anime, so it's good. It's a good one. I also watched the Sanctuary a week back, and man, it was great. I like that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially the last 2 episodes. I really enjoyed those 2.
Have you guys watched Lost Girl? Hey, Zaxx, it's another Canadian show, because I'm out here pimping for your World Economic Fund occupied globalist shithole country. That's not directed at you. Tell me I'm wrong, okay? You guys got a chick in court right now because she didn't. Okay, we're not even going to do that. Honk.
Wait.
Enchanté. Well, nice.
Just
balancing the representation. Sorry,
I'll back it off. I'll back off. I wasn't shit. I wasn't pooping on the people of Canada, just the installed globalist shill government. But no, what was I gonna say, Gray? It was something about Canada.
Blame Canada if in doubt. And so you need to watch Sanctuary. I know you don't have Netflix. You got to sail those
Lost
7
Girl.
Seas. Lost Girl. Who's
Lost
in that?
Girl.
Is that Thingy? Is that
Well, so it's fantasy and it's
She was in
weird, and
She-Hulk. No.
it was modern at the time, which I think is from the early 2000s, and it kind of had that charmed. I'm talking about the pretty white girl charm that was actually worth watching for the boobs. It's kind of like that, only a little bit more with gratuitous lesbian sex. And there's all these different type of magical creatures that are there. And it can get a little tedious on some of the episodes, but the boobs and the music keep you coming back. So if you want to check something out, check out Lost Girl. And if you don't like it, you can blame me. So
I didn't know there were boobs.
yeah,
in
dude,
Lost Girl.
Zaxx, I know. I mean, it's not Shakespeare, like Zaxx says. It was, but what it is it's a believable fantasy world that's incorporated with our own. And then of course there's like hot chicks in it like all the time and good music. And it's like, okay, well I can roll with this. It's like, I think you could say it could be like a distant cousin of the Dresden Files to a certain degree, you know?
I've read
So,
the first few books of those, Salty, Dresden Files.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty decent, pretty good. Jim Butcher.
Yeah. I love bullying. I think Nosferatu, that's part of what's wrong, you know, participation trophies. None of these kids got swirlies, you know, and now they're screwed. Now they're gonna eat bugs and live in pods, and I'll be dead and happy. You know what I mean? And you guys could I don't know, you guys could have social credit systems and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like, what about you, Gray? Is there anything as far as from the fantasy perspective that you see that's come out that's maybe under the wire, or that's just a classic that you keep coming back to get your dose of fantasy?
No, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah,
One Piece isn't fantasy, but it's kind of set in a kind of fantasy world in a way. That is worth a look,
yeah.
Saudi. As I say,
Okay.
it's not mind blowing. It's not, Stranger Things season 4, but it's wholesome. It's sincere, and it's got so much
Okay.
heart. It's positive. Can you believe it? It's actually positive. It's a
Does
positive show.
does it seem like the showrunner respects the source material, or and they didn't just recreate everything? Because that would be a refreshing change.
I know. Yes, it does. And the actors too, believe it or not, they're really into the source material and they're not having a go at the fans.
Yeah,
Crazy, right?
I think Jacob wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah,
We'll
go
mute
for it,
us.
Jacob.
Yeah, they have complicated characters. They're not just flat, boring characters.
Getting the
And you have,
characters' backstory is really, really good.
yeah, it is really good.
Nosferatu, I'll do that. I will watch Midnight Diner. We'll have to do that.
I think it's too wholesome for Salty or too emotional, Nosferatu.
Dude,
That's
you guys act like
that's
I am the ultimate optimist, but I am also the ultimate realist. Do you know what
pessimist.
happens when you're a realist and an optimist in a world full of shit stacked to this high? You turn into me. Okay, that's how I survive. Because I'm like the Grinch. My heart grows 3 sizes too big when somebody loves the source material, does competent things, and doesn't try and preach and get me to chop things off and so on, like fun bags that don't belong there. Okay, like I will go in, I will buy your merch, I will do those things, but every damn thing has this taint. It is a taint of agenda, and I don't see how it's going to change. I don't. I mean, you think the new Harry Potter is going to be faithful to source material? Whatever you're smoking, yeah, maybe back off of it. I mean, the same thing with do you think Warner Brothers is going to do something even 1% of the quality of Peter Jackson? How? How are they going to do that? Because the same executives that managed to fuck up the DCEU and hire James Gunn are going to be sticking their noses in that shit too. So it's like, that's not being blackpilled. What that is going, I'm going to spend more time outside. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go find fossils. I'm gonna go find agates. I'm gonna go watch more old stuff from
Salty
the
is
60s,
scorched
70s.
earth, says Dwayne.
No, this is actually called peace. It's peace. And when the revolution starts, wink, wink, I'll be the first one going in. But until then, I'm going to go find cool rocks, and watch cool shows, listen to good music, and hang out with cool people. And that's about it. You know what I mean? So,
You know what I've been doing a lot over the summer? I've been going out on my bicycle and cycling along the beach, along the coast road. There's a gorgeous route. So you've seen photos. I've shared videos with you, and it's been so great doing that. When I was on holiday, just like getting out.
I want to keep sending you pictures, dude. Send me pictures over there. I'll send you pictures of some of the fossils I have. My living room is destroyed right now. I'm covered like in mud and limestone and like all kinds of, and like I bashed the shit out of my finger with a rock hammer today, and it's like I couldn't be happier. You know what I mean? Like I was out there in the mud finding agates and finding these awesome concretions with skeletons of of vertebrae and agatized, snails, from Jurassic or whatever the hell it is. And it's like, that's what it is to be a human being. And YouTube is cool. Like, I love everybody and I love the chats, but man, if you start doing this more than a certain number of hours a week, you have got to get away from it. You've got to go
Oh, yeah.
remember what it is to be a human,
yeah.
because none of this is real. None of this is real. Like, it's not. I'm real, Gray's real, we're all real people. But what YouTube does to you is it punishes you for telling the truth. And
Yes.
that can get in your head. So,
You know what I'm like, my wholesome stream. So go for it, Jacob. You got something to say?
Yeah, I gotta hit the hay. It's getting late here, so thanks for letting me butt in, Greg. And
No, of
it's good to
course.
see you,
You're always
dude.
welcome.
Next time I'll have my headphones plugged in.
No worries. If you haven't, go check out Jacob's Master and Commander review. It was really, really good and well done. If you're looking for something to check out, it's a good guy.
Thanks, Salty. Y'all have a good one.
Adios.
Good night,
care.
Jacob. You take it easy.
All right, thank you.
Salty. Shots fired by Nerdporeal Lifeform. He's out walking.
I know.
By the way.
I'm reading this. I'm like, well, he's just a dipshit
joking.
from Chicago.
He's
I mean,
joking.
that's what he says. Like, I love Brian.
And Nosferatu says, "Burn the books" as well. Oh my gosh!
Which
oh
ones?
my goodness!
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, you haven't called Wheel of Time gay yet on this stream, and so
No, he's very well behaved on my streams. Because we have a special thing together. So it's called Midnight Diner. Come on, man, you got to watch it. Give it a chance, but don't watch the Netflix remake. Well, it's not even a remake. It's like season 4, 5. Watch the first 3 seasons if you can. It's so good.
Well,
it starts off with a Yakuza member. He's based. He's awesome. Coming into a diner. It's just people go there. It's like Cheers. They go there. They share the stories. They get to know each other, and it's really emotional. It's got good performances.
Is this that anime thing you guys were talking about, or is this live action?
No, it's a live action.
All right,
only 30-minute episodes. It's nice and short. You do it in little doses. There's boobies in one episode. There's like a Japanese porn star like story. It's really funny.
You don't need to sell it anymore. I want to watch
That's
it.
it. We got Saltinos. We got it with the boobies. Me too. I'm so easy. I know.
Like Sunday morning. No, I mean, I really want to watch a show with you in Purple again, because it's when you guys want to talk about a very surreal experience of different levels of hope and arguably black pill and irony. Like when we watched The Sandman, watching your descent into despair, utter despair, then I'm trying to cheer Gray up. I mean, imagine a world where that happens. Okay. No, but I'd love to watch that with you sometime. I really would. So
that'd be cool.
This overhyped. I know. I'm just humoring.
Wheel of Time is so gay. The books come coated in man glue. Says Nosferatu. Oh Jesus!
I love it. The war isn't even declared, and he's firing tactical nukes into major civilian population areas. Never change, Nos. So.
Copa, yeah, I know, I get you. But yeah, one more as well. So it's similar to Midnight Diner, but it's the guy who plays the Yakuza guy from Midnight Diner. It's called Solitary Gourmet, and that's on Amazon. He just goes around to different like Japanese eateries, and it shows him eating food and just a little bit of his life and meeting people. That's all it is. It sounds nonsense, but it actually works, and I think it's based on a manga.
Is it like Gordon Ramsay only takes out a katana if they mouth off and like
there's no katanas were drawn
people or something? Okay, all right. Because I'd
classic.
a lot of that.
Midnight Diner is the one piece of ramen shop shows. There's awesome one.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm sure you'd like it, but maybe it's too wholesome. It's too wholesome. Oh, I tell you who loves it. 70s rock fan. He actually introduced me to it back in the day. He shouted it out.
If both you in that 70s say I should watch it, I'm going to watch it, and I will. I actually will, and some of these things, when I watch new shows like this, I always want to bring somebody else in and not just watch it alone, because I kind of want to have somebody to balance me out, because I'm so burned out and jaded from virtually everything. Okay, where it's just like, all right, give it another episode. Yeah. But yeah, I am gonna check it out. I'll suggest it to Purple Valkyrie because sometimes we'll watch new things for set a timer. Like, is this even worth watching? But I'll check this one out. It's funny because she's who I sail the high seas with, and there are all these movies that have come out in the last year. And you all know what they are. Absolutely no goddamn interest even to watch these on a pirate website. Like none.
Right, I know.
Ever for
I know what you mean.
reason. And then you scroll back and it's like, well, what came out last year? You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's like, well, what are we looking forward to? Well, I can tell you it's not The Color Purple, the musical. I can tell you it's not the yet another Willy Wonka retcon bullshit thing that's a musical. Dune 2, which is apparently delayed, was probably the only movie. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you about? That goddamn Aquaman 2 trailer. Does somebody want to tell me, like, is that a movie about superheroes, or is it about a 21st century diverse man who does laundry, who's got relationship problems with his brother, who apparently his house burns down? Is there anything about comic book superhero scale, scope, action, like, or is it all just some shitty sitcom on ABC that I would never watch in a million years?
I've only seen it via Film Threat's live stream. They were covering it, so I watched a little bit. I just saw it on the phone. That was enough. So it was like, what is this? It's a mess. It's a CG mess of like nonsense.
It's 3 minutes long, and their selling point for the movie. And chat, tell me if you think I'm way off base, because sometimes it happens, right?
Or someone thought it was cancelled, but they are bringing it out, aren't they? It's coming out before Christmas, yeah.
Yes, and of course, I mean, so they reshot this movie. So they shot it 4 times. The first one is the original cut, and there have been 3 confirmed series of reshoots. Now, the second one was to get rid of all the climate change bullshit narrative. That was the whole reason this movie existed in the first place.
Oh, really?
It's true.
They've got rid of the climate change bullshit nonsense. No way.
But this trailer still has, there's too many people, the bullshit lie. But it's just now, I mean, the selling point for this trailer is it's like, it looks like Full House meets, like, I don't know, Look Who's Talking To, and someone has an Aquaman costume. I mean, that's what I got from the trailer. What does Roman think of the goddamn Aquaman 2?
He said he thinks he looks uncool. I'm surprised. I thought they were going to just like cut the losses like they did with Batgirl. They didn't even bring that out. Was it Batwoman, Batgirl? I can't remember. They just wrote it off. Didn't even release it.
Bat Vag. Awesome one says Aqua Teen Hunger Force is already better than Aquaman 2. I actually love that show.
I haven't seen it. No idea. What's that? Is that an animated show?
Oh, dude, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, you would love it. You would love it. Chat.
Ooh.
Shame him into watching it. It's absurd. It is absolutely. It's an animated show. Used to be on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network, and it is crazy. One of my favorite characters ever, a guy named Carl.
Yeah, I've seen some. Sorry, Nosferatu shared some of these clips with me. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Look at Nos. If you can't trust Nosferatu the Vampire on what to watch, who can you trust? Here we go.
Who can you trust? Who can you trust? Zaxx.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, we're shit talking about Aquaman 2, dude. Rightfully so.
I can't wait. It's going to be incredible.
Dude, did you watch that trailer? I mean, what kind of shit tier Full House?
Not yet.
It's a family-friendly movie, and don't worry, there's like nothing scary in this movie. It's like, what are they doing? Who are they making this for?
Why are they releasing it?
Me, you, and Zaxx back together. The band. The band's back together.
Here we are.
Carl is my spirit animal too. I agree.
What's Southpaw? What's in the title? Southpaw. What's that?
It's
movie.
Like a mid movie. It's
pretty good though. Same director as Training Day, Equalizer, and Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, and also what's she called? Rachel McAdams is pretty hot in it. Zaxx. Come on,
I like her.
That's worth an extra point.
That's the Antoine Fuqua. Is he the director?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
So it was giving me crap for its in my review because I gave it like a
Yeah, I will.
6.5, 7 out of 10. He's like, great.
You gave it a 7. Don't try and step that shit down now, dude. When I called you out and said this was mid at best, okay? I mean, come on.
Oh,
my
Gray.
God.
Gray's a generous reviewer.
I'm so positive.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, it's like he's drunk and alone, and it's 5 minutes to bar time, and he's like, "Oh, that 3,
Yep.
that 3, she's an
suddenly
8.
looking good.
She's got a great personality. She's got a great personality.
It's
and
dark.
gonorrhea, you know. But I'm not alone. You know.
It's the hot dog cart phenomenon, is what we call it here.
Really?
Because there's a hot dog cart outside the bar, and so when the bar's closed, all you have left is what's at the hot dog cart. Now you take that home or you go home alone. So
It's like the kebab shop in Manchester. Yeah, it's the late open kebab shop. You go home with the kebab or on your own.
or you go home and get kebabbed if you're in the mood, Gray. So Doom Patrol, because you're into that now. You're watching it. You're giving it a go.
Yes, I am. I started watching it a while back. I maybe got the first 5 episodes. I've gone back to it because it's been too long. And how good is the opening episode? How good is it?
There's even boobs in it.
Yes.
right,
Brendan Fraser's in it.
Straight sex, Salty. Straight sex. Unbelievable, right?
Really?
Not gay sex.
Well,
not lesbians.
when you say
Straight
that,
sex.
is it a biological man and a biological woman? I just want to be clear.
It's Brendan Fraser
Okay,
being a
all right.
boss with a maid.
Yes.
Okay, I can
funny.
handle that. Is
He
he
is a
still
boss.
like, or is this like from a while ago?
2019.
Yeah.
It's a legitimate question. I'm not even trying to be.
He looks. What happened to him? Like he's gone through a lot, hasn't he? I think.
Well,
but-
he's like a couple of years older than we are, Greg. Just a couple, and I'm like, holy fuck,
Holy
man.
shit.
I mean, I love the guy. I would love to shake his hand. I want him to autograph like all of my DVDs and Blu-rays. I think he was the most underused actor of the 90s and early 2000s. Why he did that center of the earth bullshit is beyond me, and all that other nonsense.
money.
There is talk of doing yet another Mummy movie, which I think is a mistake, but I want Brendan Fraser. I thought he should have taken over and been in Indiana Jones, because it would have made absolute goddamn sense. If anybody was going to be Harrison Ford's son, it would have been Brendan Fraser. Like, easy. No one would have even questioned it,
Tough to argue with that.
in my opinion. Yeah.
But he got touched or something, right? Wasn't that the thing?
Probably. I mean,
think that's what it
it's
was.
Hollywood. That, how. Yeah.
There you go. He doesn't look too bad in it. This is the first episode. He plays a racing car driver.
Yeah.
But when you see this one, you're like,
It has very complex characters. Every episode, I find, like, it feels like after you've watched it, it's like a meal almost. Like there's a lot that goes into these episodes, and
Okay, this looks cool.
they cover a lot of time as well, and the stuff does get resolved, and like you start to figure out who these people are, and there's identity politics stuff in it too, for sure, but it's not heavy, and it gets worse later on, but a lot of it is sort of played on the surface, so it's not it's not being sort of snuck in and fed to you. It's like there is a sentient street in this that's gay. Like it's a street.
Is this like NASCAR meets The Extraordinary Gentleman, or am I just picking up one episode vibe?
Extraordinary Gentleman's not a bad, not a bad call. Timothy Dalton as well. Salty.
Oh, he's so good in
awesome in it. He plays the kind
Are
of the
you
boss.
shitting me?
He's so good.
Worth
Okay,
watching
now I've
just
got to
for him.
watch this movie. And we've talked about this before, but the Timothy Dalton Bond movies are so much better than I remember them now.
I agree.
They're so good. And maybe it's because they wrote those clown scripts and they had, I don't know, gender. I don't know. It's just the blonde guy who was Jason Bourne instead of James Bond on the screen. So.
Yeah, he was not. He's not my Bond, but I thought Dalton was excellent as Bond, and he was a different kind of Bond. He was a very serious, straightforward Bond. He was not Roger Moore. He's not Sean Connery. He was his own Bond, but I thought he was a cool Bond.
Yeah,
he was. He did shit scripts, and we've talked about it before, and that's the real shame about all this. But he does make a hell of a good bad guy. Whenever he plays a villain, he is a really good bad guy. What do you guys think of them remaking The Extraordinary Gentleman? I think it is Brad Pitt's production company bought that. Do you think
Oh,
that's got a
really?
chance, or it's good? Yeah, that was what was it? I think somebody got the rights and they're writing the script, so maybe that's stopped now. But they're gonna do it, and I'd be okay with that, except that we know what we're gonna get. We're gonna get like a trans whatever, and just it's gonna be the United Nations of not the actual story, you know.
If that's what it is, then yeah, it's gonna die a
DOA.
death. But it was already dead. Like that movie was not good.
I tried to rewatch it, and it's like there's
I did.
40% pretty good movie, and then 30% what the hell are you doing? Why did you do this? And then there's 20% why did you do this at all? Like
It started off pretty well. It's a good start with Sean
Yeah.
Connery.
Yeah. And you could just tell in the middle they just lost the plot, and then they're blowing up Venice, and it's just like, all right. And then what's her name? The one who's the vampire, she never got naked, so that really could have helped. I mean, you think I'm being funny?
No,
But it would have
Minus 2
helped the
points.
movie a lot. And because she was in that spy movie that was like in, what was it, the late 90s? What the hell was her name? Doesn't matter.
what I
Hope
can
saying that
say.
it blows our minds that it was his last movie. Connery's
it
last
really?
movie was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I forgot about that.
Well, he passed up the Lord of the Rings because he didn't understand the script. He passed up the Matrix
God, though,
because he
he
didn't
did.
understand.
Yeah.
I agree. But I could have seen him in the Matrix as Morbius, though. Could you imagine him as I mean, no disrespect to oh God, I've got
Larry Fishburne.
Lawrence
he's awesome in
Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne.
So he's
He
fantastic.
is awesome. He is, but I do think it would have been interesting to see Sean Connery in that role, and then decide who's better, you know. So
That was the movie where thinking back, it's like sort of the Wheel of Time syndrome, where I went to see it in the theaters, and
me too.
I was just happy to be getting a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And like, if we don't support
Same.
this comic book movie, we're not going to get any more. It really was the feeling I had at the time. I was convinced friends to go see it, and it's like I was, I let them down a little bit, but yeah, it kind of is that same phenomenon of, well, at least we're getting something.
Yeah. It's interesting because, I mean, you put that movie up against something like The Highlander 2, okay? And still The Highlander 2 just is the worst goddamn thing ever conceived, ever in the genre.
What a disappointment that was, man.
It's just the thing I think that pisses me off about the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is you had everything. You had everything there. I loved the Nautilus. I liked the casting. And then just somewhere, somebody, I don't know how you fuck it all up. You had everything right there. And then it was about the middle of the movie. It just decided to crash into the side of the mountain. So, yeah.
But Salty, give Doom Patrol a try. Like
Okay.
Either you'll know soon if you're gonna like it or you're not. But Timothy Dalton's great. The characters are very deep, and they're all a bit damaged. But you find out about that over time. Cyborg is a bit distracting, I'll be honest, with his like very plastic armor he's wearing, and it's pretty bad. But
after the Rings of Power, I my tolerance for bad armor is.
I like this Cyborg though, Zaxx. I prefer him in Doom Patrol series to the was it Ray Fisher, the guy who played it in Justice League.
100%.
He's a much better actor and he's much better performance.
Yeah, but they do they do damage characters, and it's not like that's part of who they are, but it's not about making you feel bad for these people. Like you identify with them, but that's all.
Well, God knows everybody on this panel's damaged. That's what happens when you live long enough on this earth, right? And it's not necessarily damage; it's just you got some miles, And I think that's help. If it's written well, it helps make a character more interesting, Like, and if they do that well, and it's got Brendan Fraser, and if both you guys are telling me it's good, and I will watch it because I would love to watch something new, and get that new experience. I mean, I've mentioned it before, but I'm reading the Elric books for the first time, and I'm now into volume 2.
Ooh.
And there's a big YouTuber who says that The Witcher is just a ripoff of Elric. No. Okay.
No chance. I've read the first 2 volumes.
Off.
No way.
With that.
Really? All right.
Really.
Cool.
Fuck off with that. I mean, I cannot believe the shit that people say. Okay. I was talking about it with another YouTuber. No, The Witcher is not like Elric in any fucking way whatsoever.
Cool. That's good
But
to
go
know.
read Elric. The Elric books are fantastic. And what's interesting is it's like fantasy but somebody has slipped you a low dose of acid. Okay. Like
that's a good summary.
This is psychedelic fantasy because and again, if anybody, this has nothing to do with The Witcher in any fucking way whatsoever. And I've read all the Witcher books. Okay. But Elric is trippy. It's trippy and
it's weird, Saudi. It's dark, isn't it? It's different.
It's weird and it's dark and it's interdimensional and it's time travel-y, but it's not in ways that you expect. And so please go read the Elric books. If you don't like them, tell me about it. I just hit me on Twitter or whatever. But I can't believe that I have waited this long to read this book series. It's fantastic. Again, it is in no way at all like Sapkowski's Witcher series in any way at all.
I can't believe.
Okay,
who made that comparison? That's really weird. Well, you don't have to name names.
I'm just gonna leave that right there. Okay, and I
just speed.
Yeah,
right. I thought it must be because I thought he was a huge fan of Elric. I thought he was a big fan of the books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. So also he's calling out the Witcher guys for copying. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way. They're not even in the same universe at all in any way. That's literally like saying that every fantasy book is essentially just like Tolkien, which it isn't. Okay. A lot of fantasy books and fantasy worlds have certain things like orcs, goblins, magicians, swords, kingdoms. That doesn't mean every fantasy book like the Dragonlance Chronicles, like the Zaxx series, anything by Piers Anthony, Michael Moorcock, Sapkowski, Jesus Christ, the Sword of Shannara. I mean, not even close. Elric is its own thing. And if you haven't read the Witcher books, please read The Last Wish. You will not regret it at all. So
I've read that one.
Got criticism, didn't it, with the time originally when it first came out for saying, "Oh, it's just copying Tolkien," but it became its own thing. The first book
was, and God, Zaxx, you and I talked about this like 3 years ago. Like,
yeah,
it was very, when Jordan wrote the first book, it was very tentative. You could tell this guy, and he'd been doing Conan, but now this is his own thing, right?
Yeah,
and I think he kind of overthought the Eye of the World a bit. But then, again, I've said it a million times. Once you get into The Great Hunt, it's over. It's just, woof, you are off. And Jordan is like, okay, you guys like what I'm doing? I'm going to give you everything. And it's a fantastic book. That's why you see people like Prophet of the Dragon losing his goddamn mind, and Pips and and Alex of the White Cloaks smashing shit on a live stream going, how can you do this?
What's happening? What is happening? It's a great clip. I love that.
I love it. Steve was shaking his 19-year-old son apparently in the living room screaming, what are they doing? And his 14-year-old daughter came in to make sure that nobody was dying because he couldn't believe what they were doing on the screen. It's a true story.
You know how we were saying, we've always said this is not the Wheel of Time. It's so far removed now from it's not recognizable as anything even close to or like it adjacent to Wheel of Time. It's not. It's a really dumb show that on its own is bad.
Yeah,
its own is bad.
Yeah. It just has the characters that got the same names. That's all it is. The characters got the same names as people in the book.
And because there weren't enough characters, they had to create a made-up character to bring in Cho from the Harry Potter series and give her a character that was somebody mentioned from thousands of years ago in one sentence in a book Brandon Sanderson wrote, which was just to reward a book fan and put her name in the book. And instead, she's now in 3 episodes of this fucking series for no reason in a Murder, She Wrote plot line with old, and Alex said, Indian anti-characters pretending that it's Murder, She Wrote.
She was in the peripheral, by the way, as well, Salty. Cho from Harry Potter. Zaxx. Was she? Cobra's trying to trigger you. It's Cobra and Nos.
I don't know. It's just I wouldn't. In Zaxx, the thing, and that's why I'm not doing the kind of reviews I did in season 1, where I went through and compared what happened in the book and what they should be doing to the show, because there's nothing in the show. people can say, well, she went through the arches. Not really. Okay. I'm not going to legitimize what's on screen because it is so fucking wrong. Like it's not subjectively wrong. It's objectively so not the books that every media site is saying, no, it's not the books, but it's something new. And isn't it fun to watch something that has the name of the book that you love on television and
Inspired
it's absolutely not like it? That is what Yahoo, Screen Rant, Hollywood Report, all of them, IGN, Polygon, it's all they're saying. So
I have to say though, like I haven't been able to get through. I'm almost into episode 3. It's really bad. It's hard to watch, to sit through. It's boring, and I don't like any of the characters except for. I'm trying to feel bad for the actor who plays Rand because it seems like he really wants to try. I thought he had no talent season 1 whatsoever, but it seems like when he's the very few moments he's on the screen, which isn't much, and he's the main character, he seems like he really wants to try to do a good job. And he's nothing to work with. He's a model, right? He's not an actor yet, but like he seems to want to do the job. But man,
he read the books.
I heard he likes the books. Yeah, I heard
that's got to be what it is.
The books.
And that's why I clipped some of the segments of him with Rosamund Pike in the interview, where you can tell how uncomfortable and unhappy he is when he has to say what his character is doing. And again, nobody knows what these people are like in real life, right? But Josh Wistradinski, the guy who plays not Rand al'Thor on the show, he really, I think, out of everybody, was the one who got screwed the most because he should be like Elijah Wood from The Lord of the Rings. He should be like a major beloved character from the Game of Thrones. His career should have been like this. Instead, he's got like a third-tier role in whatever that bullshit video game movie they made is with the driving car Grand Prix thing, Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
he's in Gran Turismo. Apparently,
which apparently is a good movie, but I haven't seen it. Yeah, it's better than it should be, is what I've heard.
Yeah,
but I haven't
make any money. I mean, again, I'm not going to go see it. I mean, I like playing the video game, but I'm not going to go watch a movie about a video
Zaxx,
game.
I'm going to get killed by Nosferatu, but I did start watching season 2 Wheel of Time because I've read book 2 and I've almost finished book 3. I tried the first 3 episodes. Like you said, it's unrecognizable. I've no idea, apart from the opening scene where it's supposed to be, the meeting of the Dark Lords all together, which was completely changed anyway. The rest of I was just like, I don't recognize any of this. I don't remember it.
When I watched the last episode with Steve, and we don't have to keep talking about Wheel of Time, but the one before this, I was watching it with Steve and Aldan in Australia, and Aldan is he's sitting there in his Australian accent like this going, he's like, yeah, I don't know how you can do this. And he got up from his sofa and he left. And so we were just looking at his webcam of where he was sitting on the sofa. And then Steve and I are both just sitting here like this going, what are you doing? Like it was basically like being at a funeral for somebody, and whoever was up there talking about this person was making things up that never happened, and you're literally confused. Did I go to the wrong funeral? Like, who's in the casket? Like, what the hell is happening? And it's not getting any better. And I don't know how to review a show against the books that has absolutely nothing to do with them, and I'm not going to try.
Zaxx, have you any interest in reviewing it? Just curious.
I've thought about making some joke videos about it, which all I did.
I miss your joke videos
because there's some funny stuff you could do with it, but I just I can't watch it.
No, that's the problem. We don't want to watch this.
I don't want to watch it. I miss your reviews though, Salty. Your reviews were awesome like last year, but I get why you're not doing them. I understand 100% why you're not doing them, because I made fun videos and it's not fun to watch, and I could make fun of it, but like, man, it's rough.
It's like watching a video of someone torturing animals, and then you got to talk about it, and it's like, I don't want to watch it again. Like, it's terrible. It's a terrible chunk of shit.
It's even like, Salty, they have butchered the casting for everyone, even the secondary characters, so that they have no charisma, no charm. You're not pulled into them at all. The dialogue is already bad. The story is already off to the side, but they didn't even give us anyone to connect with. Really,
no.
None of them are. There's zero charm with these people.
and I said the tropes, it's like you can tell that Amanda Schumann and Rafe Judkins went back to what they knew. Chuck, The Blacklist, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And now they're putting in tropes from Murder, She Wrote. They retconned a whole bunch of stuff they did in season 1. So they've said they've done things. Now it's just all of Rosamund Pike's older like female friends get to be in the show because this is apparently like
nepotism.
The
okay, Salty, Zaxx, what do you say to the people in the comments, commenting your video, especially Salty, who have a massive go and say, look, you're just like, you're an old man moaning about something because it's not exactly the same as the book. What do you say to those? I know, I've seen it.
Well, first of all, I've gotten accused of taking down comments, and I never take down comments. Like, I never do. I always leave
comments
them up
are great.
I say thanks. Yeah, like, please
comments
engage
feed the
algorithm. If there's somebody who accuses me of doing something like making fun of Harriet, Robert Jordan's widow, in the video that I made, I think it was the day before yesterday, not yesterday's, I was like, actually, my intention was not to do that. My intention was to show how they actually screwed this poor, sweet woman over and apparently lied to her. No, I didn't. And so I will say 2 sentences to that. And I said, if you interpreted it that way, then you are responsible for your interpretation. I am not responsible for what you think you hear, which has always been the case. So
yeah, that's nonsense. Yeah.
But I've had man baby. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I got called an incel. You're a hater. Why don't you? What was it? Why is it always white boys talking about this show? Where's the diversity? I've had that comment.
Original.
I mean, and again, I mean, none of this stuff bothers me. The things that bother me, I think, are people asking me why. Like, why would someone do this to the show who didn't watch what we did? Any of us did in the first season, and maybe is coming to this show. Maybe they watched the entire first season and now they walked and maybe they read something or maybe they read one book. But there's a lot of people who didn't watch things before who are opening up their heart going, this was really important to me, or I read this to my dad when he was dying, or my grandfather and I read this. And all these people having all of these deeply emotional things that they're, they entrust to put into my comment section, which is an incredible fucking honor. All right. And you can just see it. All people want, like you and I, Zaxx, we just want to be entertained. We want to have a hero's journey. We don't need to have a trans amputee, BIPOC, communist, I don't know, like made up bullshit capitalism, bad men are stupid. We don't we're all full up on that now. After 6 years, and they're just like, can I please just have entertainment? And they don't understand what's happening. So
those kinds of comments mean they mean less than nothing, because first of all, one of the ones one of the favorite ones is, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, you just watched my video, you fuck.
I don't even say that anymore.
You didn't like it. Why did you watch it?
I'm like, you watch 10 minutes of a video of someone you don't agree with, and then okay, I don't watch those Wheel of Time shill channels. I never have. Like, why would I? Just to get mad? Like, I got shit to do. I got to mow the grass. I got to go to the grocery store. I got to work 40 plus hours a week. And then I want to go find cool rocks and fossils. Like, I don't have time to watch assholes I don't agree with on the internet and leave shitty comments. You know what I mean?
No. And the one of, what's the other one? Oh, the diversity thing. Like, okay, well, the white dudes are talking about the show because guess what? These books were written, and the audience for these books were mainly white kids, white boys, white dudes. And so they're the people who gravitate to the show, who are the most impacted by the books. And guess what? The characters in the books were also white dudes. So, I don't want to alarm anyone, but that's what the book was. It wasn't this. So that's why when you change it, people kind of, yeah.
And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but there's all kinds of diversity in Robert Jordan's world. It's just in other parts of the world, and it's not the main characters, just like Harry Potter.
It's not randomized character creation style diversity, which is what this is.
In Hollywood, it's interesting because there is an African mermaid movie coming out based on the actual African folklore. And do you see anybody in Hollywood running with that? I mean, it's getting small releases. Studios aren't pushing it. It's apparently incredibly well done and incredibly well acted. And I'm going to review it on my channel when it comes out. But it's just like we've got to have everything that we have replaced and have forced something put in it, because people who don't actually have real problems need to fix a problem that isn't there. I don't know. After all these years, Zaxx, I still don't have an answer as to why this is happening. All I know is they are losing astonishing amounts of money, and they seem to like it, and they're going to lose a fuckload more before this ends, you know, if it ever ends.
Praise the strike, though. Like,
yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good.
Keep
Me
this
too.
thing going.
All these people are like, well, in 6-9 months, you guys are going to be, you're not going to have anything to watch. It's like I haven't had anything to watch for 8 fucking years.
Yeah.
Okay,
please.
what have I been watching? You know, I couldn't wait for Witcher season 2. What did you do to that? You know, I couldn't wait for Wheel of Time to come out. What did you do to that? I was cautiously optimistic about Rings of Power. What did you do to that? The only show that's still kind of hanging tough out there is Stranger Things, and God knows what they're going to do in the next episode. But Stranger Things,
that was heading the wrong direction, Salty.
It was, and then somebody got Jesus and fixed it. You know, and again, rewatching it a second time, is it as good as what it initially was? I'd say it's about 80% as good as I thought it was when I watched it the first time. But it is a damn good show, and it's entertaining, and it rewards you for having a brain. You know, so.
And there's plenty to go back and watch, and this is what we're doing right now. Is what I mostly watch anyway, and it's just pushing people away from that over to this. Like, there's nothing there to watch.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah,
they're not happy about it, are they? They're not happy, Salty.
And YouTube's fucking this up. Think about that, like a
true.
massive influx of new audience, and yet they're putting the screws to us even more, and they're still trying to promote all the morons from the big studios who screwed everything up in the first place. And it's like, all right, well, you guys keep doing that, you know?
Could you imagine watching that late night talk show host show where they all got together and who wants that? I don't want to watch any of them on their own.
You know this. And this is not hubris. If you put you and I and a couple other people together, we would make a late night show every Monday through Friday that would have 2,000% more laughs than those guys probably get in a month. Okay. Why? Because you actually make fun of the things that are real. The basis in humor is acknowledging the horrors and awkwardness of reality. I mean, why is George Carlin funny? You know, why was Spanky Pants, what's his name, likes to beat off in front of women? Louis C.K. funny. Yeah. Louis, you know, why was he funny? You know, I mean, all of that type of humor is funny because it's based in reality, and that's what people want, is the authenticity. Like, you can't fake being Zaxx. I can't fake being me. I'm an asshole, and nobody can be gray but gray. Same thing with Boreal and Prophet and anybody of your other YouTubers that people like. And I'm not talking about the big guys, I'm talking about smaller guys. But that's what people want. And sometimes we stumble and we fuck up and we're morons and we're wrong. Generally, we own it. But the trick to being funny is to not try and be funny. You're either funny or you're not, you know? And it's like, you don't try to be funny. You point out the absurdity of what things are and then be quick with it. And that's it. At least that's me.
And we can laugh at ourselves, something they've lost the ability to do. And you can't be funny unless you're willing to make fun of yourself.
Yeah, you cannot take your shit seriously. You also can't grape your interns and whatever the hell else is going on over there.
Do that.
You know? Yeah, I'm looking at you, dipshit at CBS, whatever his name is. That moron.
Oh my God!
I saw Louis C.K. on his like apology tour when they sort of slow rolled him out through smaller markets before he came back and was as big as ever.
Was his flies zipped up? I just want to make sure he's fully reformed. Okay.
He was so good, and he owned that so much, and he cracked people up right away with it by making fun of himself. But he's like, hey, listen, like, everyone here knows one of the worst things I've ever done. You guys all know about my big secret, what my turn on is. And yeah, I do like having people watch me jerk off. It's weird. I like it. But what is your weird thing? And we don't know what your weird thing is yet, but what if I find out and you paid to see me anyway? So like, and it's like, yeah, okay, now we can move on to the rest of the show. But like,
it's like
he didn't
it's like
apologize,
Pee Wee
period.
Herman, and that's what you shouldn't do. I mean,
No.
and it was consensual. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
regardless-
yes.
okay, it would it would appear that it was consensual, and then people were okay with it, and then after the fact, they're like, "Oh, I'm violated because Me Too is going to give me some money for this,"
Yeah.
allegedly. But what do you got there, Gray?
That's just for Roman. He doesn't trust, and I don't blame him. He doesn't trust Nosferatu's link in the chat, but it is to this video. It's Food in Taxi Driver. I think Copa was talking about it as well. He only oh my god. Zaxx, help me, my voice is gone.
Dude, it sucks. I've been getting that too. It's all the shit they're spraying in the sky. Although you got that Fukushima water over there, so who the hell knows where it is, Gray? So, you know.
True.
That's what I'm drinking right now, Salty. I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, you're not. That's why your nuts are like your balls are 3 feet each. You know, it's because of that water.
I thought you weren't going to mention that on the stream. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so this looks interesting. Does he only eat weird shit in the movie? I never noticed that. Travis Bickle. No, I'm not going to play it. Sorry, I just wanted to show because Roman doesn't trust. He thinks it's a link to Two Girls, One Cup.
No, I'll tell you
Watch the
what.
clip.
Which one would you? Yeah, which one would you rather watch? The Wheel of Time season 2 or Two Girls in a Cup? At this point, it's a coin flip. I can tell you that. So.
We had fun tearing apart that first season though, but I don't know if it would be this as much fun to do it again with this stuff.
Well, I mean,
don't know.
you should just come on, dude. I mean, if you're gonna sit through an episode, you should come on. You know, I mean, I don't want to be up against you, and I know you have other obligations, but I would do a video with anybody who wants to cover this show. The problem is that I even said it in my video. I can't be funny about this show because it's so goddamn bad, and there's nothing to work off of against the books. You know, the most entertaining thing about episode 5 was how bad the special effects were. You know,
I haven't got there
like
yet.
this.
So we'll
This
see.
looks like it's from the Wheel of Time. That looks like the lead female star, actually. Without any
Is this
clothes.
Celine, the most beautiful
Oh,
character?
man.
Sorry, I went there.
Salty.
Why do they have to find Asian actresses and give them that stupid bangs haircut? Like, what's the deal with why are they doing that now? We get Min with the bad hair, and we got the Halo chick with the bad hair. They're gonna
They
cast
look
these.
androgynous.
That's
They
probably
look
that.
androgynous.
It's on live at the
Makes
moment, by the
sense.
way. It's the Japanese. It's one of the regular sumo tournaments. I just wanted to share that. There's a guy who has a channel. He covers it live. I don't know how he gets away with it. Leo Dickinson Sumo. He's cool. He commentates as well in English. So anyone who's interested in sumo, do check that out. Stop sharing that. Wow, I sound like a promotion, don't I? What's going on? Also, someone's asking, what's with all these cups, Zaxx? Salty.
You're gonna love the
Don't
cups.
don't want to know. Don't ever look it up, please.
2 spoons. Get 2 spoons.
Do not watch that video, okay?
Do not watch
just-
ever.
Yeah, that's like don't go in the room with the crazy serial killer with the ghost. All right, just walk out of the house, get in the truck. Do not let the episode of Scooby-Doo happen. Like that's just one way to do it. And I'm at a point in my life now where I don't need to know. I'm gone. Okay, like I gotta get up and go to work. I have no interest in being tortured to death by whatever's behind the door. You know, so yeah.
The one of the benefits of all this strike stuff and lack of material is that you do find stuff that you wouldn't have watched otherwise. And Sanctuary was one of those shows for me that I enjoyed quite a bit, and I would have never watched it if not for what's happening current day, and if not for getting to know Gray, who was a big fan of it and got me to watch it. And I'm glad I did it. One Piece live action, I thought that I really enjoyed that, and I probably wouldn't have watched that otherwise if not for what's happening right now.
Same.
If not for meeting you guys, you know it, and I enjoyed it. I got a lot from it. Is it perfect? Like, it's not a 10. Of course it's
No,
not a 10.
it's not.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. So what else can you ask for right now?
That's why I recommend Lost Girl. Again, it's not a 10. It's a lot better than Southpaw. Just gonna say that.
I'm going to watch it on your recommendation. If it's not as good as Southpaw, I'm going to have
so
words
it
with
takes
you,
it. The first episode, it starts to take off. Okay, it's just one of those things. It's building a fantasy world, and there's not a lot of exposition. You have to spend some time with these characters. But by the 3rd or 4th episode, you've seen enough TNA and hot chicks and cool stuff like that. You're like, all right, I'll stick around.
Saying the magic words to me, Zaxx. How can I resist TNA? Just the dirty old man I am.
That's why I recommend this show. It's not the.
Look at this with Nosferatu. Gray has the best buying average of recommendations. Come on, look at that. That is so nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
Checks in the mail. No, checks in the mail.
It's almost 11 o'clock, and I've been up since 5:30 for work
Holy
this
shit,
morning.
dude.
I every day, because my client's on the other part of the country, so I have to get up early. So
Silo,
don't
yes.
take that the
I like
wrong
Silo.
way.
What do you want
Zaxx,
to
let's
shout
do
out,
something.
Salty?
We got to
Yeah.
talk about this show. I don't have shit to shout out, man. And it's like I'm Salty Travel and See. It's great to see all the familiar faces that are here. Gray, I love live streaming with you. I love just being able to hang out with you,
Me
even
too.
though I mostly thoroughly disagree with your assessments of most entertainment. Okay. And Zaxx, it's really good to see you too. It's nice to talk about. I don't want to say the good old days because we were locked down and season 1 was complete and utter dog shit. But
That's how you guys met. Come on, that's good.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but let's talk about something. It's just, again, like things are so bad in entertainment that you kind of have to like guard yourself, because we've reached it's not a little toxic. It's like this show is uber toxic now. It's dumb, it's stupid, and it's agenda. It's boring.
Yeah.
So and then you make a video, and then if people think that about the show, why would, if they didn't watch the show, why would they watch your goddamn YouTube video about something they have absolutely no fucking interest in? So then you're like, it's just like, but anyway, I'm gonna go have some bourbon and go to bed because I'm old and tired.
Don't think about Leandrin's face at all. Salty, don't think about that.
She's actually hot. She's hot and she's sweet in real life.
She looks
I watched
terrible.
an
I've
interview
heard
with her.
series. She looks awful.
It's
Dude,
like
she looks like, you ever see the old Tom and Jerry cartoon? She looks like Jerry Jerry the Mouse. She looks like her head's like a block. Or maybe that's just me having a stroke, but she's really quite charming, and she's really vivacious and sweet, and you can tell she'd be a lot of fun to get drunk and make out with. And on this show, it's just that like, oh, I'm a raging cunt, and it's like,
she's
like
horrible.
every other
Horrible character, not the
character on
actress.
this
Yeah,
show.
terrible character.
she looks like the High Evolutionary.
Yeah, but she's
Salty,
sweet,
enjoy
she's
your
kind.
enjoy your bourbon and have
Yes,
a good
enjoy.
night and have a good
I'm
weekend.
gonna go to bed. Good night, everybody. Take it
Good
easy,
night,
guys.
Salty. Cheers.
Zaxx, stop messing about. Give Gray some tangible workout tips. I recommend lower weight and high repetition, says Nosferatu.
Yeah, that's the best way to build up your estrogen in your body is to do low weights. And that's what you really want to do.
I thought it was eating tofu that does that. No,
Soy, any kind of, as much soy as you can, super light weights. I even recommend low weights and low reps. So like you don't want to get a sweat going at all if you can avoid it. Those are key. You really want to focus on that estrogen levels, and so that you can experience things more as an emotional person, and you're more open. You can cry more often. Like those are all things that I've been told now are good for you. So yeah, I would say.
Is that why I'm crying more
Southpaw.
often these days?
He's attacking you from.
He's having to go at from, and so is oh no, it's just Cobra in it. It's bloody boring.
It has the stink of Lost because it's got the actor from Lost and it's got some of the writers from Lost, so it does smell a bit like Lost. But I still enjoy it. So there's a lot of dumb things in it. Don't get me wrong, and they may not go anywhere, but I'm enjoying the ride enough.
Zaxx, how do you find time to watch all these shows? This is all I want to know. Come on, how many are there of you, or have you got like a time machine you can pause time?
I don't sleep. So there's
There you
that. And then I'll watch stuff while I'm doing something else. And then
Yeah.
usually that's kind of what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't watch as much sports as I used to. I used to watch a lot of sports, and now ever since the lockdowns, I just don't care that much anymore. But
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah, they really took the passion out of it for me. So
I used to
I'll put
watch
on
live
something
soccer
else.
games. Like when it's on here, it's like 11 at night or midnight, and I've watched the full game. Now it's 90 minutes. I don't want to spend 90 minutes watching a game. And I used to love watching live games, football.
No, they've kind of ruined all of that for a lot of people. But like
Yeah.
I watched football every Sunday. Like I watched hockey every second night. That was what I would watch or what would be on TV. Now I just don't really watch
You
it
into
at
ice
all.
hockey, were you? I didn't know that.
Plus, like my kid played hockey too, so I'd have his games. and soccer. So that was all that, and then it's kind of all gone. And so now what do you do? Well, YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
From is not boring, Copa. You just don't like it because there's a black actor in as leading role, and you can't handle it.
Black leading role, yeah.
He hates black men so much. He
Does
does.
he?
He does because of the
Oh,
whole.
God.
His people were at one point, for like 700 years, sort of conquered and sat on by the North Africans, and he really is bitter about it, and he doesn't want to accept the fact that, he's probably 30% North African himself. And it's that self-loathing that comes out for shows
More.
like From.
I
for him.
think 50, at least 50% Copa.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what this is about, for sure. And I'm like, I'm rewatching. I always want to call it Live, Die, Repeat, but that's not the actual name of the movie. Edge of Tomorrow.
Ah, yeah.
Because we're talking about it. I'm talking about it tomorrow on a show. So like those are good. It gives you a reason to go back and rewatch something that you like that you wouldn't even think to start watching again. But it holds up. Tom Cruise. He's still Tom Cruise. Yeah, and it's entertaining. And I'm finding things now that are like, this is a bit off, but overall, I'm still enjoying it.
Well, I went back and after watching, I watched Creed 3 because I hadn't seen it. It came out on streaming here, so I watched that. It's like, it's okay. And then Southpaw was recommended, so I hadn't seen it, so I put Southpaw on. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty decent. And then I went to watch Rocky, the first one, Zaxx, and then the last one, Rocky Balboa. So good.
Rocky Balboa was outstanding.
It's really good. It's a good ending, isn't it?
It had no right to be either. Like after some of the stumbles and whatever, and I think Stallone took it back. I think, and he's such a likable character, and the way they passed that along. Then the Creed stuff came along, and it's still, I guess that's fine. But Rocky Balboa, and not the last Rambo movie. The one before that I liked that one too. It got pretty savage, I thought.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to keep you too late, man. I know it's late for you, Zaxx. Look at this, Flaccid Phoenix in the house. That's unbelievable.
Flaccid, yeah,
That's right.
Go steady.
Oh my goodness. Rocky 5 was so bad that nobody expected Rocky Balboa to be good.
That's not wrong. Yeah. But it was good. Some of the best speeches in that era of movies, at least motivational ones for your wall, or pretend that, or if you're a coach, pretend it's your idea. Like, just don't tell anyone where you got these speeches from. That and Friday Night Lights, just take those speeches and just use them when you're coaching.
You know the guy who plays Paulie throughout the Rocky movies, Zaxx? I used to really dislike him because he starts off as a horrible character. Like Napoleon was saying, you could see him as the villain in the first movie, which is interesting. He's so good in Rocky Balboa in the end. He's come round, it's like, man, he's so moving. He had me in the emotions. Like, wow.
I think Adrian was probably the villain for me through most of it. Because
really?
Look at what she did to Rocky, and like she almost forced him to like kind of grape her in the first movie. Like she put him in that position to do something, and like, that can affect him later on down the road when she makes him do things like that. Like, he had no choice with that outfit she was wearing, with her sweater. Like, we all know what she wanted, and she was making it obvious. She almost ruined the man.
Based take from Zaxx.
Yeah.
Oh, classic.
I do hate Adrian. I do.
Live, Die, Repeat was based on a manga, said Awesome One. Okay, was that the proper title? I can't remember. I know it's a Japanese. It's based on a manga, so yeah. It's a good movie. I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, I'm going to be on tomorrow at noon with the Uninspired Reviewer. Talking about...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are you talking?
We're talking about Live, Die, Repeat. All you do is kill.
Need is kill.
All you need is kill. That's what it is. Yeah, much better titles than Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow is just sounds like a completely different movie, doesn't it? It's weird.
Yeah, it sounds like a soap.
Okay, Zaxx. Well, thank you very much for coming on. It's great to catch up. You and Salty as well. That was cool.
Then double duty tomorrow. I'm hosting Circle of Jerks at night. I got some special stuff cooked up for that one.
You got to keep those jerks circling each other.
I just don't want to eat the cracker. That's all.
Oh, God. Copa saying Paulie's still graping his robot in Rocky 4.
He is. Yeah.
Oh, my God. And Copa, Nos, everyone, Awesome One, Roman, everyone in the chat, Flaccid, thank you so much. Dwayne, it's been brilliant. Really appreciate it. I know I'm kind of too positive for YouTube. That's why I am where I am. But I really love catching up. I love talking, just chilling out. It's like hanging out with mates, Zach. So I wish you could like head down to the bar after this, get a few drinks. But
Yeah,
maybe
me too.
one day.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Yeah, and have a great stream, or 2 streams tomorrow. Enjoy that. Do check out Zaxx's channel. Hey, you're already subscribed to Zaxx if you're watching me, aren't you? You know that already. So just drop a closer and we'll say good night. Matane.